Yes. Whoever's talking gets the main screen, and you should have a little sidebar of everyone else. Sorry, Amy's trying to get in, but she's having some difficulties. Heather's here. She's going to give her a call real quick. Phone call is probably the best way to do it. I would. She finally got it. She's
Anybody have any questions or comments? And everybody. Sorry. All those in favor, yes, you call me.
Julius. Bonnie, you did. Marvin, you did. Chris. Amy, are you there? I see that she's here, but I can't. Yeah, that's fine.
Next item is changed since our last meeting. Backdrop.
Sarah is trying to join right now. We're having some issues. I'm hopeful that here in just a second she will join in. Amy, there you are.
from the week of the 14th of March. Yeah. A lot of that is probably related to the worst ones. So, I'm not sure. A lot of it's also probably small businesses. So one of the things that seems to me to be addressed, general sense, is our traditional discussions like training. I think started with
I think I'm here. Am I here, John?
Yeah.
Here she is. Here's Sarah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Sarah's here. Can you hear us, Sarah?
Now I'm unmuted.
There we go.
Sure. So I'm sure, as you all know, if you're out and about, our small businesses are really struggling right now. I know that we have just chamber member wise over 20 businesses that are completely shut down right now, not bringing in any money whatsoever. Um, and I'm working with our banks right now to try to get an idea of what percentage of those businesses were able to apply for either the payroll protection grant or one of the small business loans before those funds were gone completely, which, as you all know, happened very quickly. So we're trying to figure out what percentage were actually able to get any funds. Right now, of the businesses that I have been working with, we know one. So, yeah, and that's a little disheartening, but the Bank of Marion and People's Bank are working to put together some more numbers for me right now. So we can try to see what percentage of Smith County businesses that applied were able to get any help whatsoever. But it doesn't look great right offhand.
Sarah, do you know how many actually applied?
We don't yet. The banks literally got so many applications and spent so much time just trying to get them into the system so they could be approved that they haven't even had a chance to put all that together, but they're working on putting that together for me. So I'll put that with you guys. Yes, Wells Fargo has also been sending emails, so they're also working on it. All of our businesses that could do all of our banks that do SBA have been sick requests. And so we had talked a little bit about what kind of other funds are out there. As things are becoming available and our fine little pockets of money, I'm giving those out to our businesses. We were able to work with Marty Holiday. I'm sure you all might be familiar with her. She had a small fund pool fund that was specifically for helping businesses get online if they didn't have an online presence and those sorts of things. We were able to get that out to Smyth County businesses, so that was nice to be able to help a couple. And then many of you all received the Region Ahead information. So Region Ahead is a group that we started at least 6 months ago, maybe longer. And initially it was a regional marketing effort between Southwest Virginia and East Tennessee. And as COVID hit all of our business, we switched our focus over to fundraising. So last Friday, on our update call, we raised about $70,000 so far. And we're going to keep that going. So if you get the chamber emails, you got an email about it today. If you don't, let me know and I can send you some information on it. So we hope that that's going to help. We've already received 160 applications since we opened up on Friday. So I'll keep you all posted as well on how that goes. Monday is when applications are being reviewed for that, so we'll have a better idea of where a lot of the requests are coming from. Maybe it's a lot of East Tennessee and those sorts of things. And then any of you all that get, may have a question, sorry. Any of you all that get the Whitfield Chamber emails as well, they have partnered with their EDA, the Wythe and Bland counties. They're called the Small Business Sustainability Fund, and they have jointly funded $60,000 loan pool for small businesses. They're offering a loan of up to $2,000 with zero interest, and businesses, I believe it's about 2 years they have to pay that back. Another similar fund in Norton. Norton's doing a small business pool as well. That's $5,000 loans that are zero interest. For businesses with less than 50 employees. Those are a couple things that people are doing and that are out there. So you all tell me what your interest level is. If there's anything that you want to do, if there's anything you want me to do to our businesses.
We are discussion.
Reach out and ask that question, since it's the joint one. My guess would be, it could be similar to, the chamber runs the Imagination Library program. It's a separate program. So what we do is we keep it separate on. If you did just another area with books to monitor that. So my guess is they probably pick one of these entities and one person keeps up with the accounting and paperwork for it. But I can ask how to do that if you'd like me to. So there's an application process. I put together a sample application in case this was something you all wanted to do. So Have you sent that out, or is that something we were gonna show on the screen?
I've tried to show it on the screen and it wouldn't work, so I'm just gonna forward that to everybody after the meeting so that they can look at it.
Put together a sample application, and it was similar to what we kind of discussed and put together for Region Ahead. So it asks questions like, how you've been affected. So we don't want to see people who are doing okay take advantage of this loan to do some debt consolidation or something like that. We want to know how you've been impacted. We created a checklist of things. Have you had to lay employees off? Are you unable to serve your customers? Are you closed completely? Can your suppliers not get to you? You know, those sorts of things. Find out how exactly they're being affected. And then also, the financials are a piece of that. So we asked for their financials for 2018 and 19, and then a balance sheet this far into this year. That gives us a pretty good idea of how much they're actually being affected. So yeah, there's definitely, we want to see those financials, see their business license. And another piece of it that I think we would need to look at if you guys decide to move forward with this is having a piece in the contract that says that they will remain in Smyth County for however long. If you want to do a year, I know some of the ones I've looked at say 6 months. I like a year or 2 years because I know I'm to say a long time. So you know, some things like that. But when Keeper sends you that application over, you can kind of review those questions. Highlighted some things in yellow that were decisions that you might have to make. And I also on the front page did a little check sheet. Look at it, not lose you. I'm afraid to put over my word. I'm afraid I'll lose you guys on my computer screen. But made a checklist of questions that we would need to talk about and look at and think about. Or how much would one amount be for? How long would they have to pay it back? And also another one was how many employees. It is a lot in the county. So you know, do you want how many employees do you want a business to have to be able to apply this?
I guess it also would require to
Yeah.
protection.
And that question's on there. There was 2 parts to that. One was have they applied for and received any federal funds, and have they applied for or received any other grant funds that were related to
Times, questions, with regards to the federal payroll program, we're now in money. Today the Senate had one bill that's for 300 million that should be working on that month. Those applications in India, the banks automatically follow up on those. The small business, apply or do we know?
I believe that the banks are going to hang on to those because most of the banks have done in anticipation that more funds will become available is they continue to still keep taking. So the banks are going to hold those and they continue to take applications so that we can get a jump start. If the Senate approves it tomorrow and it goes through, then our banks can go ahead and start submitting those so that we're the first ones to gain. So small towns, small businesses don't get left out like that so far, and a lot of this federal government funding.
That's what I understood.
The Bank of Marion especially is doing a really good job, I think, with communicating with small businesses.
So I noticed that the town was doing kind of the same thing with small business. The economic development of the town and the Marion Council around revitalization program, we all they had like $50,000. You know, kind of an amount that you were looking for with that.
I think that's completely up to you all and what you think you can put in, and keeping in mind that it is a local, so it should come back. And then also, I don't know if it's something, do you guys want to talk to the Saltville IDA and Township Highway and see if they will have any funds that they can fund it in? I know Saltville's a little different because they have their IDA, Township Highway doesn't, operate exactly the same, but it might be something that we want to look at doing a group effort and doing some funds in, and I'm happy to go to those different people and see your interest level as well, if you guys would like to share. We kind of approach it as a lot of towns and the EDA all put money into a small business boot camp that we tend to do every year. This year, let's not do a small business boot camp, let's do it, keep our businesses open now. That they may have put into that later in the year could be put into this. Yeah, I agree.
We can hear you.
Yeah, so I will reach out to IDA, Saltville town managers, and kind of let them know that this is the discussion we're having. What are your needs and gut reactions to what kind of wonderful you want to do?
Having thoughts about how much.
I think that's a great start.
I would say,
And that's great because that lets me know when I go to the towns and the IDA, I can say, yeah, this is what the county EDA is going to do, and I think it's a start number.
That's what
What are we talking about? County
we don't have.
parent, and we're talking about 50K.
Well, I mean, yeah.
No, I think that's a great part.
Would you all mind to do a formal vote on that for me? Is that what that was? Okay.
Are you thinking that as a motion, money?
Sure, let's make a motion.
To contribute $50,000 to, loan pool funds for small businesses.
Yeah.
I think we need to get together. To include, details, how long, dollars.
You all want to look over the application kind of basis that I sent you and then send me back suggestions and changes you'd like to see. Okay. All right, and just while do you guys have an idea of what you'd like to see the max grant amount be for each small business? Yeah, I think I think that's fair.
That's on how far you want to put it. 5 each.
I'm not trying. Will you do up to 5 depending on each application process? And judge 5 application process?
And their need. Yeah. Not everybody's gonna need. Okay.
I couldn't hear you, Karen. I don't know if they could or not.
No. Just can we do that based on individual? Some might need just a little more than 5, some a little less than 5. Just to help. And I think we should do that on a case by case basis. Not just give them a flat.
I think that's really good.
Yes, I think we have. I agree with that. Okay. We'll say that. We have the motion on the table, John.
Also,
Consider it spent on
It was Monty and Julius, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got that, I think.
I guess we probably should do that. Anybody else?
That's easier.
I guess with the
If you all want to, look over that application, let me know what changes you'd like to see and kind of review the questions in the beginning. You can do that. I'll make changes right away because I feel like this is kind of one of those things that the sooner the better we can start helping businesses because they're already struggling. I think that would be great. And I'll start making calls to the other towns right now. And would you like to follow up tomorrow?
Yeah, that would be good.
And I think most all of you have my cell phone number. If not, I'm going to say it right now, grab a pen. 423 914 4130. 423 914 4130. That's my cell phone. Thank you. We're working out of the office mostly. I'm in and out. If you don't get me, please leave me a voicemail. I'm living or traveling. Sometimes service is good, sometimes it's not. But I will get to work on this right now. I'll follow up with you tomorrow, and then hopefully maybe we can have a call meeting soon and firm everything up. And also, I'll work on a logo for this as well. Thank you so much for all. Thank you all so much for being so willing to help. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Sure. I sent you guys an email with the attachment that he sent me. And he just sent an email that said with the postponement of basically every gathering, it's pretty much on hold. They're not really doing anything over these past couple of weeks except for just circling back around to those they have contacted with, trying to follow up and make face-to-face meetings for the future. He's really kind of unsure at this point if those conventions will be rescheduled, but assures me he will keep us informed, and does want to come to the next meeting in person whenever we happen to have an in-person meeting. Did you guys have questions about what he sent that I need to communicate to him? Okay. He did say that they would be willing to extend it because they understand that they're not really doing a lot right now. So we're contractually paying them a lump sum. It's for a year at a time, I believe, if I remember, with an option to renew at the end of the year for up to 3 years. So that's why he said he would, consider an extension of time without requesting new funds at the end of this first year. We've paid a portion of it. We had to pay up front, I believe it was 15,000, and then we had to pay another in 3 months, I think, after that. And then we have a final installment, I think, in 3 months after that. I'll have to go back and confirm, but it was something of that nature.
Consider, oh, I'm sorry. Do you even consider any type of abatement or probation that he has, or just the extension of the time frame that we get?
I'd be happy to ask. He didn't offer that, but I don't think they're ever going to. Yeah, sure.
Throw that out on the table. If we're gonna lose that week, then we should be paying for services that we're not. And then we're gonna get extension on it. I don't think that, but I'm thinking.
Absolutely. I'll ask.
We would make sure that we give it the best during that 6 months, I guess, is what, that. Well, true, but I mean. As with some sort or.
They definitely offered the extension without me even asking, so I think they're definitely willing to do something.
I gauge the group's interest. What is our ability to cancel the contract? Because it's 6 months. Yeah. This is going to change a lot, in my opinion, for any retailer who want to come into our area. I think that money is much better served in other capacities this next year or two. So what are we able to do?
Therefore, we is fair. We understand that when this thing is done, and things are pretty much at the moment, we'll issue the contract, rather than just say at some point in time, we need to order it. And the problem is, they keep going out. That may not be the time to continue trying to do anything. May not be sure. It was a combination of the and that. That's what we're doing.
I don't remember the terms as far as a rebate goes, but there is a clause in there for written notice of cancellation. I'll have to go back and read the agreement between the two of us to see the details of that. And just get back with you guys, but, you know, I can definitely ask what they're willing to do, and move forward as you guys wish.
One is what's the contract? What are we obligated to do? And use that as It's good. We can just do a lot to do.
Sure, I can do it.
And then you gotta go from there, but yeah, maybe a rough year or two. Visual development.
Anything else on the
Okay, so in your packet that I emailed you all, you guys have a copy of all three email communications. Greylock said they would do it for $2,950 and would give us a report in 30 days. Mark Shelton was $2,400 and a report in 35 days, and Jim Barker was $4,500 and 40+ days for the finished product. We've worked with Greylock multiple times and Mr. Barker. We've never worked with Mr. Shelton, but he seemed very accommodating as well. You guys just need to, if you need more information than this, I'm happy to get it, but this was just a cost estimate for them.
I looked at this here, tried to look at these proposals, these phrases, and, I was just, this week, that's 4,500. I just think that's just the way I think, what we need, that property. I like what I saw with Hallmark, and I also like Greylock. I think we should go with that along, maybe comfortable with, and trust them. So, there's only what $500 difference between the Hallmark and Greylock. What other things about that?
I didn't hear your last sentence, Karen. It cut out.
Interested to know what our other members felt about, what I my comments, Greylock. Anybody hear me?
Yeah, there was just, price. Because the juries.
I'll make that motion.
But I took it as. Amy,
Yes.
John, Marvin,
Yes.
Julius, Lonnie. Lonnie good? I think Lonnie's trying to answer, but I can't hear him, so. I don't really know how to put that down. And Karen. I got you, Marvin, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good, there you are.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
So that's approved. Next, Howard,
Yeah, so I reached out to our two term service engineers, which is Draper, Aiden, and Peden Bortz, and they both sent back these proposals, and it includes everything to get you all the way up to tier 4 for Draper, Aiden, and I think, or no, tier 5 for Draper, Aiden, and tier 4 for Peden Bortz. However, both feel that tier 4 is all that you need. Neither one of them really felt the need to do tier 5 because you don't have any construction plans, and that's just based on discussions with them what they would consider you would need for a tier 5. So I've just kind of broke it down on my page here for the cost summary, and just to see what y'all's thoughts are. They've all given you the ability to piece it if you want to. If you just want to purchase one section of it, or you can do it as a whole, kind of what your all's thoughts are.
I have a question with regard to one of these proposals includes a master plan that really takes into
I think that's part of it. Do you know specifically?
I think it's a construction plan, isn't it?
That's what I understood is the main difference from tier 4 to tier 5 is you have to have a construction plan. But I think the master plan is kind of part of that. And each engineer group kind of called them different things. And just in my opinion, in dealing with Draper, they're more familiar with this because they were partnered with the EDP on the site selection survey. So they know more specifically what they're talking about when it's coming to requirements and what's needed. However, Peden Bortz was knowledgeable. They just don't have the same kind of lingo and know-how as Draper does.
Well, we have, I would need you to ensure, maybe you use, engineering plan for proposals. I am associated with another organization, engineering plans, and, I think the, River Agency Association is very, very thorough, very detailed, master plan is just absolutely, to know where you want to go, they have to know. So, again, I'm leaning towards River Agency. They look like they have the best, proposal and details of where we want to go.
I also believe that they are not at all familiar with this type of study. Why are we doing, I mean, this is now, 46 years old. Why are we doing this? What's the purpose of this?
The purpose of this is the EDP has
Tier 4, tier for?
It's the site selection lingo. It's what BEDB is using now to promote your sites to the Commonwealth of Virginia and anyone who's interested in doing business. They're basically doing it to make every site look the best and have the most information and be most competitive to people who are wanting to come to business in our area. And in doing this, we did a survey and we filled out all kinds of information and sent every information that we had, and they ranked us, and that's those tiers. And we're currently, even though our right,
So
yeah.
this is something they feel like they need to do an effective job trying to do this.
Yes, and in order for VEDP to still market our site, we have to come up from a tier 2. They're not going to market tier 2s.
I guess the question is, why we can do that initially, or it is now?
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. Can you repeat your question?
I'm just wondering why we didn't do this initially when we developed that.
We had an environmental done initially, but they only last for a short amount of time. We had quite a lot of stuff done, but it all has expired, which is the need for an update, which is why we're doing it.
It's like a floodplain, so it'll change, but
Not typically. As a part of their tiering and what they've decided matters, we have to have that environmental update and this master plan and delineation, all kinds of stuff that, no, it won't change, but it has to be included and it has to be new and updated.
not. Yeah,
And girl, we love you.
Okay, is that better? Okay, so basically we've had this information before, the environmental, geotechnical information. We've had it all done previously, but it's expired. So we have to basically redo everything to get back up in our ranking.
They even, I mean, this is in the running for any type of promoting.
Correct.
Have that have to continue promoting it.
With VEDP, yes.
Right, right.
Mhm.
And opportunity.
With a big site like that, yes.
Martin, your question about why these things. Appraisers,
How long do you, that is what I asked. What is your time frame? 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years, I think, for environmental. Yes, ma'am.
Let's come back to this. Contract with someone else. Or whether floodplain study that they suggested is an option. Was included in the other, framework. Because it is, very hard.
I'm looking at it in fees and contract terms.
Aaron said that he had some information that would be helpful with that.
They'll use it.
I can reach out to Draper Aiden to see, it may be something that they felt wasn't needed. That may be why they don't have it in there.
Well, you need, on the surface, it was like, offers.
A topographic survey, provided that it has correct elevations, establishes your floodplain. At, at the time that you have correct elevations on a topographic survey, in a topographic survey, provided that that survey gives you elevations, then drawing a floodplain map off of that is very simple. And it may be that Draper Aiden is including this floodplain mapping in the topographic survey, because basically your floodplain maps give you cross sections and elevations of flood at certain areas along the river. And all you have to do is attach that to your topographic survey and you have a floodplain map. And I don't want to oversimplify it. I'm sure that an engineer would say it's a $5,000 task, but I would imagine that with both of those pieces of information, any good GIS tech like Manuel could put it together in maybe 2 hours if he killed himself over it. It looks like to me they're both saying they'll do the same thing. That Draper Aiden's a little bit cheaper, probably because of prior knowledge, and that they may be listing them differently in the way they price them, but they're both getting at the same result. That's how I see it. Yes, I do. Yes.
Um, I'm assuming this has to be some type of formal motion for us to go, or is it just a unanimous decision for the group to go with Draper Aiden, or, that would be my
Fine.
How much is Draper
I'll take it.
Okay, Karen? Okay. John? Chris? Marvin?
Yes.
Julius? And Amy and Monty, you guys are a yes, I assume. Good.
I mean, money that I feel would be, we want. A marketing
Because of your game,
Mhm.
on.
like after COVID-19, we will get like more than ever. This is too hard. I'm feeling.
This morning, yes, sir. You make kind of have to take it, back to the stone, how stone is there on concrete or whatever it is. Was this stone detriment to that side or? What about that? All the things are blessed to see what we do with it. Wasn't strong. Arrows in the hospital.
I just feel like this is.
Right. I have not done that. You may, since you have floodplain, you can feel, since you have floodplain on the site, you may want to use that to fill that floodplain in to make it developable. But at any rate, I can find out what it's worth, if anything. And, I guess what I'm trying to say is, provided that it's homogeneous and they can look at the outside and know that that's what's also down on the inside, they can probably give a pretty good estimate as to what it's worth. I also think if you ask them to buy it, they're going to offer you less than what it would cost them to make that same material, since that's what they do for a living, and then they would up price it plus the haul bill.
Steve before felt like it was something we could keep because it was very useful. When we ever developed that site, I'm not sure why or to whom the useful, but that was my, that's my regulation.
Yes, and I think the answer to that is probably compaction. Yeah, I don't. If it's gravel, you're good. If it's got any kind of a metal or chemical mixed in, then you're probably not good. So that's the best I can. Then I mean, I'm obviously just shooting from the hip, and in the real world, common sense is very short because somebody will find a way to make it not work if it makes common sense. Yeah, right.
Sure. Yeah, okay, so every year we have to, renew our lease extensions with the three properties, Deer Valley, Pathway Park, and Mulberry Lane. So I have already typed up the letters. I put them in your packet so you could look at them. I just need a formal motion that you guys are going to, allow the 1-year extension. If anybody needs refreshers on it, I'm happy to.
I'll make that. Sorry. I can-
I was discussing Haley.
I'm sorry. I lost you.
Oh, sure. Okay, so the 3 letters that I put in the packet for the hay lease for our 3 properties, we have to approve a year extension each year of the 3-year total. This is year 2. So there was a motion and a second to approve. Okay. Julius, go ahead, Karen.
That's unfortunate.
Okay. And then I think that was everybody, right? Okay.
My question was, and I'm sorry, I'll be back in, that's all. Is there any decision on the year from? Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. So did you guys have a chance to read everything that Mr. Floyd sent? He sent pro forma, I believe, and some traffic numbers, some costs of operation, employment numbers, that type of thing. I'll have to sit on top of this one. Did you guys get a chance to look at what Mr. Floyd sent with his pro forma, his business plan, traffic numbers, all of that information? Sure. So $100,000 is what they're asking. Well, it's a tourist visitor center basically for that little corner Commonwealth area. A grant. It was a DHCD grant. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but they have some contingencies in performance with that, so they could not request additional funds out to economic developments and the counties that surround the area, as well as some of the private partners for funding.
Visitor center snack bar. They asked us on up to for developing building their gas station. And we're planning to ask Washington and Smyth, yes, Grayson County for 30,000. Is that right? You remember, Chris?
Yes, that's correct.
My problem is that it's a river, long time. I don't, a lot of traffic through there. I mean, I go through there, I go to White House sometimes, but, economically, what does that bring to the county? You know what I mean? Are there any jobs associated with it, or what is the, EDA department for funding?
Marvin, may I speak, John?
Sure.
I have some of the material in front of me from last time, and he said it had 21 new jobs. And we had 12,500 unique annual visitations, TV area focused on, ecotourism. Which there's, and we will have impact of $109 per visit. And, it says that, estimated, traffic to the intersection volume will be 230,600. That's just traffic in the entire area. They said they had 110 annual education programs. And, the last of the part of it was 4,300 participants annually.
Look at that, that's, they're mostly full-time, there are some that are part-time, there are some that do even that. The vast majority of them are full-time. I would say that they
The current is correct. Currently just 30 full-time employees, right? That they are over a period of 3 years is to be at full capacity with the employees of 31 employees. And only out of all of those, two of those part-time. Apparently they're thinking that, the max of the 31 will be full-time after year 3.
Marvin, your question about why would you look for the edges of our old stimulate interest in the county and that territory. Secondly, I would say that we heard this presentation last meeting. We were in a completely different environmental context. We had less than 4 county in that same meeting. We were positive last one. We were all very positive about how the county was moving. And they actually decided to come out. And we're using the boardwalk route as sponsorship in places, but also being there in the periphery of what might be not real. We could afford I think that we talked in the community, swayed by themselves, excellent point of view about where our money should go, what kind of impact.
John, just a second, you point that I agree with you. And I guess even what's happened the last few weeks and what we're in for the next year, or this is the reality portion, I'm sure, but, this is the kind of project that I would support strongly because it's, you know, it's off of the resources that we have in this area that are not, they will always be there. But that we need to probably do what they do, what they've got a large, it's a very, we consider, that's not, that's the natural resources are there, and bring
So this was not a grant, not at all intended for them achieving any of their objectives with the job, so there's you know, and, you know, really, they just asked now. Additional money to build, and they asked to build a building. You know, and now, I think that the structure, and now structure, time or part of the self-acting decision, not in years. I think the one thing that, you know, last discussion, the reservations
I
about
agree
the forward for all of them.
and I agree that the amount is quite substantial. I don't mind contributing, but, with the county's, contributing 30,000 and then they're asking us for 100,000. I wouldn't mind contributing, but I think I would do something less than 100. That's just. Yeah, I was, concerned with the amount, especially, even more so now, actually. Because I feel like with, what Sarah Beth said and, you know, things going on in the county as a whole right now in their situation, I'm inclined to think that that might not be the best decision to offer somebody that kind of money.
Just a question about how situation.
I don't know. And this ask was brought before the board, and it was not, they didn't say no, but they didn't say yes. And it's for consideration during this budget process that we're in now that will have to be voted on before July 1, but I just don't, I don't have a feel for it, John. For me personally, if I'm trying to look at this from the position of county administrator, and I have with the PDC, we have worked with Aaron, we have written grants, we're helping manage those grants. We even have, you know, one of our staff members are on his board. But if I am trying to look at this strictly from county administration, I am struggling to tie this number to some sort of a hard return for the county. And, and to date, this is not meant negative, but to date, Aaron has not been able to help me tie this ask to some sort of a hard return, whether it be monetary or even some sort of a quality of life return. And that is the hang up that I have. And I'm not discouraging anyone from any other opinion. That's just me saying that I've not gotten a good reason to fund it yet, as far as the presentations that I've heard.
We have to make a decision today, or can we still continue to evaluate it? Again, our economic situation in our county should be, I like the idea that the ambitious plan that bring new, revenue people to the area. But we have a point that we absolutely have to make decisions today.
No, you do not have to make a decision today. And I think to John's point, originally, we're in such a different situation than we were 2 months ago that I think it's prudent to hold off, whether you table it or ask for more information. I think that at this time, it's prudent for you all to say, with the way things have changed and are continuing to change, we can't put this kind of money into it right now. That to me would be a logical decision.
I agree with that.
I think, in terms of follow-up questions, with the number of visitors to the center, full-time campers, surveyed at the time, I would wonder if there's any need on what, how many of those might be able to come from really having the quality of life for residents. In fact, on the other hand, the majority of these businesses now, and the question needs to be answered is, what benefit other than sort of soft marketing kind of need? What benefit this way? Yeah, whether it's people staying in hotels or eating. I know that's difficult to figure out. But any thoughts? You might. I think that with their money we had to the 500,000, that's not money we get rid of. Ready for 20%. I'm really trouble with that even in the pesticide. It's a finite amount of money. It's not like we're throwing back in there. It's not like we get money for that every year. So the rest of the time, I'm really worried about the 100,000 and 500,000 going to. I'd be much happier with a smaller number when we decided. I would tend to agree with that. We don't have any functions for responsibility. So, 20% of that, it's going to be more than 20% of the already just decided to put out 20% where it's at. Just like that, there's expenses for getting back to the corporate on the market. And then the question would be, what amount makes comfortable right? back to something that's there, I personally wouldn't want to move forward with any amount. You can't be sure that the county's gonna match. This is something that the county, I think the county can do more than we can because it's mandated with salary. They're not interested, they're not worried on this. I'm not sure we should pick up on the slack. Because of the context of the time.
I agree, John. I agree, John. This is Karen.
Yes,
As well. I don't think we're gonna do that, I would do some, county health protection, I think that would make the most sense. I think we would work with less, I agree with the 100,000 is too much, but, possibly 50,000. Or even less, for,
Perhaps, Aaron, you could, move around further deliberations in the county and also we try over my thought earlier about funds or benefits and that sort of thing. We can just, revisit this.
yes, I would be happy to keep this group informed as we move along with the budget process with the county. And, I have probably already said too much, but I think that one last thing is that this project as a whole, just the intent of it is very appealing to me in a regional sense as a PDC director, but I feel like it is periphery at best to the intention of the EDA of Smyth County. And then the use, specifically the use of the funds, as Monty had brought up, that this is periphery at best to your mission. And I'll leave it at that.
Yes. Comment. I think that we can, in our opinion, experience in the county. So, we don't know what to think. Any other comments before we move on? That's not, discussion.
Okay, so I have been in communication with Mr. Purdue over the past couple of weeks. He has, got some extensions down into the Sugar Grove, North Fork area. Yeah, anyway, sorry, I thought I was misquoting his area. And he has been looking for some, assistance in getting that up and going. Previously, Lori, myself, and Aaron have had a discussion with him about maybe, an old tower that we had access to with the Tobacco Commission, but that fell through. That tower had been since relocated. So, Lori had mentioned maybe the thoughts of bringing it to you all, to see about, some type of low or no interest loan, or grant to try to help him out. So he sent me a short little email requesting, I asked him kind of generally how much money he was thinking. He said about $25,000 would really help get him going. So I just want you guys to consider that. But then before you do, in the broadband expansion that I'm working on with the DHCD planning grant, it came to light that we have, the county can request access to VTOP, which is federally provided fiber, basically. And it runs right through Marion. VDU originally put it in, which is now Point Broadband. So the county can request access to that. And I don't know if that's something that Michael would be interested in having access to, that could be something in lieu of maybe monetary funds, giving him access to that if we do those things. Just for consideration.
We'll cut the minute here and then access to the product.
Yeah, I just thought maybe that would be something good for him to have access to instead of monetary funding or in partnership with, or whatever you guys thought was necessary, because that fiber is obviously much higher speed and could help facilitate maybe some faster speeds for him or reaching more customers or something to that effect. Yes, ma'am.
He already has access to fiber, the fact that he's a goal to speak, the service he wants to provide is to those who cannot get access to that fiber. So it is strictly by wireless, internet. The fiber people will not, bring it to, remote and rural areas. It's like downtown areas, downtown areas, or that sort of thing, but not into an area that is a rural area.
Right. This line of fiber that EDU put in runs right through the area that he is wanting to. Basically what we'd have to do is grant him access, and then he would have to join into that, basically.
Well, or that is between, that decision has to be made. I'm
Sure.
not involved.
Right. I was just kind of giving a little more information as far as that fiber and where it was and how it would work. And I'm not suggesting that's what you should do. I'm just giving you information that that's what is there. Just so you know, because I didn't know it existed until a couple of weeks ago.
Well, typically, they have last 2 months. I mean, actually, pretty cool. So maybe the county and ourselves can do make that happen. Kind of nuclear center of, this is, the, other thing that, like, is, I guess, what you just mentioned about fiber, is the only one project, coming out recently, provide fiber, last while. How does this do
John, we are in the final stage of a planning grant through the DHCD that will give us the map and the information such as connectivity, speed, so on and so forth, that to extend fiber. Or it can be, it can be extended wirelessly as well. Now they will allow that now, whereas they would not in the past. I don't know Mr. Purdue's position, but if he's ready to go, I don't know Mr. Purdue's position, but if he's ready to go with this, the timing's a little bit off because he can be included in this planning grant and he can jump on board and be a service provider. A little bit off because he can be included in this planning grant and he can jump on board and be a service provider for us in this grant, because you have to have someone who has the billing, so on and so forth. And it seems like that Mr. Purdue is a service provider, which means he can get the information, the blinking lights through the lines and into to the homes. So in my mind, it would be a good partnership to form now on the tail end of this planning grant. But also, if he's trying to move quickly and he's set up to move quickly, I can understand why the private sector having to sit around and wait on the government is frustrating. I've been in this situation a lot of times where the private sector is ready to move, but the government's not. So I don't know. That's more rambling than information, but it's all those things. More rambling than information, but it's all those things are all over the time.
Anyone else have any questions or comments about? Just a comment, John, this is Mark. I don't know how. I think I've heard the last day or so that some of the Irish release money, all the federal money that's going to be put out to try to keep the economy from wrecking, is going to include a lot of funds to provide rural internet service for rural areas that don't have it. And I don't know when that money's coming and who's got to come through and how much it's going to be, but I think, there may be additional funds available at some point in time. Maybe Aaron knows something.
I've read the same, and I've also read that money is available for economic development authorities to do some of the things we used to try to do earlier. And I think the procedures for that are probably not been rolled out. If there is a pipeline, whether it's one of the operating questions might be, if we provide money to Smyth, so we would have to be reimbursed to us. Because you may possibly, you may be sooner rather than later. So
No, you will not be reimbursed. And the way, unless they change the rules specifically for this, and they may, but as of right now, anytime you receive that type of state money, which comes through the broadband coalition, so some of it's tobacco money, some of it's DHCD through VODI and all sorts of other alphabet soup that I deal with. But either way, when it comes from any of those groups, if you spend money before they authorize you, they will not give it back to you.
since we move forward in the short run, getting there.
Yes.
That we also establish the purposes.
Like to have Michael Purdue come in and speak as soon as this thing lets up and we can all be in the room together. This is a little bit awkward the way it is now, and speak to us, about his plans. I write, well, I don't write grants. I'm not very good at it, but the people who I work with write grants for a living. And I know that if we ask for money with kind kind of a broad explanation such as this one, the funding agency would come back and say, what exactly are you gonna do? What's your cost estimate? How many connections? You know, they're gonna want those hard and fast details before they come off with any money. And sitting now on this side of the table, I think it would be pertinent for you all to have that same information before you, go to check.
It's well said. I agree. Is it possible, Eric, for you and Kendra, that would, how we do, look out some of those things, and also, what can, brass tacks, my view on these, down, fully needed, we can help measure that along in some meaningful way, that would be good. I continue to be, baffled, but it's unsure about all these things in the direction. These are also state five on pushing all that stuff. What's the best bang for our city? I'm not saying that it's either or, but
I agree, and Kendra and I can do that. We can talk with him about the details and report back to you.
well, the other thing, having it. Well, I have. It's been along with quite a while now.
Yes, and I would like for each of you all to be able to ask your own questions that I may not think of. I think that would be a more thorough conversation if we could all have it together.
Karen is because Laura spent the way or seasonally.
He just continued, I should say extended a new tower, recently. But he is in the planning stages, so these figures that he asked for, I'm sure are, a rough estimate because of the equipment cost. And, if towers were available, because towers themselves are extremely expensive, and that would not come into that. I'm sure that, I have not spoken to Michael specifically about this, but, knowing, from previous experiences, he, this is the equipment and, routers and lights and all of the different things to provide the wireless. And if you're in an area that is heavily wooded, it takes, a different piece of equipment to be able to penetrate the trees better, especially as a wireless provider. So I'm sure he is, in the, planning stages of, putting, data together and, talk.
Let's see if you're on track. That's okay with
I'm good.
Chris is good as well.
Set aside one question. There's any further all out to right
contact with, those who gave us, project.
No.
Do you have anything else we need to, cover it? I think this is, it's always a little awkward, technology. Ready, but, it's better to get it together and say it at the same time. Pretty effective and glad that, we take advantage of the emergency order and all that stuff. If anybody has anything else, I'll take a motion. I guess I'll leave.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.